What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Glad to have you and happy New Year's. Today's video is about a topic that has been crucial to my self-love journey: attachment styles.
What you thinking? I see the stars in your eyes. I have you reaching, just like my Scorpio and Mars. I have you pleasing. So baby, get down on your knees and get to please.
I stumbled upon something that really resonated with me, and I can't wait to share it with you. So sit back, relax, grab your hot cocoa, get chill, you know what I'm saying? Get ready for some real talk on attachment styles. So dive right in. Make sure you give me a thumbs up so we can get this channel growing. Attachment styles, I know it sounds a bit psychology heavy, but trust me when I say it is a game changer, especially when it comes to self-discovery, self-development, self-help, and especially when it comes to maintaining and building healthy relationships. So let me tell you guys about how I even found out about attachment styles. So I actually was on social media scrolling. I love finding information on TikTok, okay? So here I was scrolling on TikTok, and I find a video of this girl talking about attachment styles and how she had anxious attachment. So I'm listening to her, and she's talking about how whenever she would be dating someone, whenever they'd give her a certain amount of space, she would instantly get anxious. She said she would overthink, and she would end up texting them, calling them, blowing up their phone. So yeah, basically this girl was just telling her story, and I was listening to her, and I was like, bro, sounds like something I've been through before. But the thing about it is, like, I couldn't resonate with everything she was talking about. So I started looking into it a little deeper, and online they actually have tests that you can take. You answer questions to find out what type you are. I'm looking into it a little bit deeper because I love to get all the facts first. I want to hear other people's stories, and I come to find out that, like, when I took the test, that it said at the time, this was months ago, by the way, this was about last year around, I want to say March, I was looking into it, and when I took the test, it said I was a fearful avoidant. So I bet you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, so let me give you guys an overview of what these different attachment styles are and what they mean. We have the anxious attachment style, which I brought up earlier, and that is kind of like being over dependent on someone. So codependency, but next level. That's what I like to say. You get anxious whenever they're distant. You kind of just have anxiety, and it stems from fear of abandonment. And then the second one is dismissive avoidant. Those are the people who are hyper independent. So it's the opposite, hyper independent. So if you're in a relationship, you kind of like a lot of space. It's kind of hard for you to get close to someone, you know, because you get afraid of losing your independence or losing yourself in the relationship. So you kind of just stay away. And then the last one is fearful avoidant, which is kind of a mixture of the two, which is what I kind of experienced. And that's kind of like the hot and cold dynamic, where like when the person gets close, then you kind of get distant, but then when someone gets distant, you kind of get a little bit close, and it can kind of look like to other people that you're kind of hot and cold, like you don't know what you want. And it's kind of that one's the most difficult one because it's not consistent. Then you have secure attachment, where basically you're very secure with yourself, you know how to set boundaries, and you're secure basically. Looking into attachment styles changed my life. It gave me a different viewpoint, and it kind of it was kind of putting a mirror in front of myself and saying, okay, I definitely have a lot of work to do regarding relationships. I didn't even notice that I kind of was like hot and cold. I thought that was like normal because I was used to the distance, and I didn't realize how this could actually play a major role in how you grew up, the trauma that you discovered growing up, like it all stems from like childhood, most definitely, or some type of trauma that you dealt with in a relationship, like someone breaking your trust. But overall, I feel like what they all have in common is that you crave closeness, you crave the intimacy with someone. You're also afraid of being hurt in the relationship. Looking into all of that really helped me to self-reflect on my own journey in dating and relationships and friendships, and it made me realize if I really wanted to have those genuine connections that I've been craving so bad, that I valued, that I would have to start being vulnerable and opening up and being honest and accepting who I am, what I've been through, and loving all of me, and that the right people would also accept and love me unconditionally. But to be honest, to do that, you really gotta be courageous and you gotta be strong, because you gotta be really self-sufficient. Let's just say that. When I found out there was a word for it, fearful avoidant, it's crazy. I was like, wow. It kind of clarified everything for me that, okay, I just need a balance. Noticing my triggers when I was dating, I would get anxiety, and or talking to people, just even through my friendships. My friends have gotten crap from me because I'd be like, oh my god, like,
where you been? Why you so distant?
Glad I don't have codependent friends who are super clingy, because it does kind of balance me out. I noticed though when I was younger, when I first got a boyfriend, I was super clingy on him, and I showed him that I liked him, and I remember feeling very, like, I didn't get the same thing in return, so I automatically would withdraw. And then he would give me energy, like a lot of energy, and I started realizing the power dynamic with that. At a very young age, I was like, okay, so if I don't give him attention, then he likes me. Whenever I do give him a lot of energy and attention, which I would sometimes because I would have anxiety in the relationship, like I would give him attention, he wouldn't give me attention, and so forth. It'd just be back and forth, push and pull type energy. Honestly, what I would do is, because I didn't like people having control over me, I would be really like, I would have a lot of anxiety, but I would not text him, I would not call him, because I did not want to look super clingy, and I felt like my head got too much in the way, to where and my emotions would get too much in the way to where I would act. And so I would wait for my emotions to surpass and to calm down, to be like, okay, like they're probably just busy doing this and that. You know what I mean? They're not abandoning you. You're making up things. And then there was a point where I was scared to even date anybody, because I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't date anyone. Maybe I'm too damaged or not healed, because why is it that I get anxiety every time this person doesn't talk to me for a little bit? And that's when I started to really do more self-evaluation, and I realized that I needed to heal by actually being in a secure relationship with someone. Here's how I started developing a more secure attachment style: self-reflection. I really had to be real with myself 100% and say, you know what, Leah, no one's around, it's just me. Oh, what's up, man? Like, this is what it is. This is the truth. Because a lot of our fears get in the way, a lot of our emotions get in the way, and it was time to start thinking clearly. It was time to start being for real and stop making up things in my head, because a lot of these things were made up fears that weren't real. So I had to first come to conclusion with that. Number 2, I would say mindfulness. I had to start being mindful about every little step, every little thing that I was doing, and really paying attention and becoming the observer. So I really had to learn how to look at it from a different perspective, take a step back outside of myself, look at how I was acting, look at the person, and just see it for what it was, honestly. It took a lot of practice doing that, and It took a lot of patience. Another thing is embracing your vulnerability. Embrace the vulnerability, because vulnerability can build some pretty strong relationships. And when we're vulnerable with each other, it makes people feel closer to you, honestly. But like, that person that's secure will be a layout for you. The people in your life that are secure, when you are honest with them and you tell them like, hey, I just need time, using I words, I feel like this when blah 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 blah, right? Being able to do that really helped me, because if that person really wants to be in your life, they'll listen, they'll take initiative, and you make them happy, they're gonna make you happy. Okay. So listen, you won't have to repeat yourself. Of being compassionate with yourself and being patient with yourself, loving towards yourself, are all the things that are needed to really heal and be open to trying new things. Being able to set boundaries and communicate those things are crucial. Patience, self-love, vulnerability, those are all things that I recommend. And this is just me talking off the top of my head. When you learn to accept yourself, period, you love yourself for who you are, and you figure out what you value, your values, what do you want, what do you like, then it's easier to kind of navigate your relationships. Whenever I'd feel triggered, I just know that meant I had to go back to myself, go back to me and what it is that I want. And if something triggered me, that I needed to communicate that to whoever that person was. And if it was someone who just didn't, like, say this person did not respect or care, or it seemed that way because I just kept getting triggered, then, like, cut that out. My bad, excuse my language. Cut them off. And where am I on my journey today? I'm really happy that I took the initiative to speak on this, because it really has helped me a lot today. I'm happier in my relationships. I really came a long way, and I've had conversations with a lot of my friends that before then, when we became friends, I was not really in a healthy state of mind. But now, me growing, I'm really happy that I can bring them on on my journey as I'm growing, and they're also growing, and I'm learning and they're learning, and we're able to reflect with each other. I'm really happy that I am blessed that I have people in my life like that now. It really did change my perspective on relationships, building healthy relationships and everything. I encourage you guys to look into it, explore. Let me know if you've looked into it before. I want to know your thoughts, your experiences down below in the comments. If you like videos like this and you would like to see more, make sure you give me a like, a subscribe, and you comment down below. Bye, guys.
Get real close to me, feel my